Oh my goodness! I'm live streaming now. No, my connection is better here.
I think that is so admirable that you want to do that. And I gotta tell you,
Oh my goodness! I wonder where Borlis is.
what I want to do is I want to give you $20,000 to do anything you
Ooh,
want.
give me $20,000.
Anything that you need. It's crazy.
It is crazy. It's crazy times we're living in.
I'm exceptionally excited about.
Okay, I need to wait. Where'd you put it up? Okay, I just have to. Oh man. It would help if you could see my face so you know what you're watching. Okay. Get that out. Okay, we're live streaming.
Mine's everything. Like my bike.
Okay, just give me a second. We're live. Join us here. There it is. Okay. Now we can go. Leron Underwood. Hi, Stephen Panama. Hey, how you doing? I'm doing great. Stefan. Hey girl, Stephen Panama. What's that on your face? This is a birthmark. Yeah, this is a birthmark. But whenever people usually ask me what happened, if well, on Thursday I was teaching these little kids at dance, and usually people of a certain age, like the young ones, they get very fascinated with my birthmark, so I like playing around. So I told these little kids that I got punched in the face, and they got very, very scared. But no, it's a birthmark. Lungazula, is that a Celine Dion shirt? Why, yes, Lungazula, it is a Celine Dion shirt. I saw Celine Dion in 2012 in Las Vegas during one of her residencies, and we were so far up in the theater. Like Celine was literally this small, like probably as small as my pinky nail, but I still cried. She was amazing. So yeah, I did see Celine Dion, and this was a shirt that I had gotten in the store, because if you go to, well, in general, if you go to any hotel in Vegas and like the artist is performing a residency, I'm sure there's like a store nearby the theater that has like all this merch. But at the time, I feel like Celine was probably one of the few people, like big celebrities, that had a residency. And she had like, oh, she wasn't like one of those like I'm here for a month and then I'm gone kind of artist. Like this was like her merch store, and there was, I don't know if it's still there, but at Caesar's Palace there was like a full-on Celine Dion, specifically like it's a Celine Dion merch store, not like we just put Celine stuff here and then it's gone like in 5 weeks. No, it was a Celine Dion merch store, and this is where I got the shirt. And the merch store, I would imagine, if you were a huge Celine Dion stan, is very, very overwhelming, because there was like all these different TV screens and they were all playing different Celine Dion music videos. There were Celine Dion shirts, like products I didn't even know that you could make as merch. She had as merch. So yeah. Stephen Panama. Wow. Noel Gordon. LOL. Stefan. LOL. Hilarious. I'll never forget how embarrassed I felt when I thought it was a tattoo. That's okay. I remember when there was one time when I was competing as a dancer, and there was a judge who made, because when you compete at dance competitions, there's like usually judges there, and they'll give you like critiques or whatnot. And one of the judges like gave a critique and did like a made certain like comments, and he like specifically, or she specifically, like pointed me out and said, yeah, girl with henna tattoo, and they thought that this was like a henna tattoo. So yeah, you're not alone in that, Stefan. Some people who don't ask might assume that it's a tattoo or even a henna tattoo. Stefan, my friends bought tickets for Celine Dion without telling me. Ooh, then they are not your friends. Leron Underwood, my birthday was last Saturday on May the 18th. Well, happy belated birthday, Leron. I hope you had a great birthday. Lunga Zulu, heard Dion's comment about Beyonce not being an icon yet. Yes, I did. Because on, I feel like my Twitter for my, because I have two Twitter accounts. I have like a personal account, and then I have like a Twitter account for my YouTube. But I don't even like go on my Twitter, on my personal Twitter account that much, honestly, anymore. Like it's pretty much, I'm always on the Twitter account for my YouTube. And I have like, I think I've tweeted so much about like Michael Jackson and Whitney Houston collectively over my time of having my Twitter account for YouTube, that like different Whitney Houston stans and different Michael Jackson stans have found me and they've followed me, and I'm like now part of like these like little message groups online. And because I follow a lot of like the legend stans, when Dionne said that, of course, I was getting like a lot of like well, I didn't tweet anything, but like those people were doing lots of retweets and tweets and replies back. So yeah, I saw that debacle happen. I mean, I get where Dionne is coming from. Like for me personally, I think Beyonce is an icon, but I understand Dionne's reasoning, because you're comparing Dionne Warwick, who has like genuinely had a career. Like she's been working like long before I was born. Like she was pretty much like working and at the height of her career like when my parents were born. So she's been doing this for like a very long time. So like the longevity that Dionne has in comparison to Beyonce obviously is like, null and void. But so I get the time aspect that Dionne is coming from. And I do think that Dionne has a point in terms of like the quality of songs nowadays. Like, are they going to be like considered classics? Are they going to be considered memorable in 10-15 years time? Not quite sure. Because I definitely feel like a lot of the songs, especially now, are very trend chasing. And not to say but and not to say that Beyonce primarily chases trends, but there are some songs that Beyonce has done in her recent projects that maybe are more sound of the now versus like how well are they going to age in 10-15 years. And also I just feel like a lot of like Beyonce's recent work too is so like conceptual, to specifically like take one of those songs out of the context of the album. It's kind of like it's still a good song, but it's like it fits better when you think about it being part of like this larger conceptual album. But yeah, I don't know, we'll see. Devin Munn, have you seen any other Hulu originals other than The Handmaid's Tale? Not off the top of my head. Not off the top of my head, if I can recall. No. Um, no, I haven't. But I know a lot of you guys have been asking me to check out The Act, which I really, really do want to do at some point. I don't know if I want to cover it though, because especially come June, oh my God, like there are so many shows that I'm going to be like over like in the next 2 months. There's going to be so many shows that I'm going to be covering on my channel, because all the shows that I was covering that I've covered previously, they're just like all coming back now. Like Handmaid's Tale is coming back, Pose is coming back in July, Stranger Things is coming back. So yeah. I don't know if I necessarily have the time to cover a new show. And also, I'm still going back and forth on whether or not I want to cover Big Little Lies on my channel because as much as I love that show, like that is my Game of Thrones. For HBO, that is my Game of Thrones. And I've been very much looking forward for it to come back. I'm not the biggest HBO fan right now because of that documentary or mockumentary or floppumentary they made about Michael. So yeah, I'm just I don't know if I want to support that network by covering their show on my channel. Um, Stefan, I just bought my tickets to New Orleans. I'm leaving on my birthday. Oh wow, well that's fun, Stefan. I hope you have a nice time in New Orleans. I really want to go to New Orleans at some point in my life. So have fun and have a great um birthday. I mean, hopefully the flight isn't too long from where you're at. I think you're in Minnesota. So hopefully the flight from Minnesota to New Orleans is not too long so that you just don't spend your entire birthday traveling. But have fun. Stephen Panama, I'm going to my cousin's graduation party tonight. Oh, right. Okay. Congrats to the cousin. Have fun. Leon Underwood, have you ever watched The Perks of Being a Wallflower? I love that movie. Yes, I have. I love that movie too. I remember watching that movie when it first came out in theaters. I also remember when I heard that it was going to be made into a movie. Um, there was a time. Well, okay. Anyways, when I first heard it was going to be made into a movie, like a couple days, like in the weeks leading up to it being released, my mom and I went to Target, and my mom was like going around and doing her Target thing. And whenever I go shopping with my mom, like usually if there is a book section or if there's like a magazine section or like an entertainment section, I usually just like a beeline my way to that area. So I went to the book section of Target and I saw that they had Perks of Being a Wallflower there. And I remember I just like got the book, I sat down and I started reading it. And I don't know how long my mom was there in Target for, but I literally got past page 100. And there were a couple times when I was getting like a little teary eyed because I was just like, oh, it's so like introspective and emotional. But yeah, I really, really enjoyed that movie and I really, really enjoyed the book. So I hope you've read the book because it's worth reading. Um, Lunga Zulu. Dionne Warwick was the first black pop princess to have a breakthrough, but I also feel like Beyonce is an icon. She has proven herself, although the standards are not the same as before. I completely agree with you, Lunga Zulu, especially on your last statement there about how the standards are not the same as before. Yeah. I also just feel like in general too, like I don't know. I've always been one of those people that definitely like respects the elders, respects the especially when it comes to like pop culture. I definitely respect those who came before and um even if I may be more partial to things that are happening now, especially like for me that usually comes into play with like television. I just feel like where television is right now, like I think it's a lot better than where it was like even 10, 15 years ago. But in any kind of media or anything in general, I've just been the kind of person that like will respect what came before. And I feel like a lot of the young kids today, especially like stan culture, it's like there's this complete disregard for the legends who came before and the young stands or even like not just like young stands but like stands who are like adults who like the current girls right now or like current artists right now. They feel the need in order to uplift the artists that they love and enjoy, they have to tear the people who came before their favorites, and it's like you don't need to do that. um it's possible for both the old and the new to be great. And also, like, before you start trying to uplift your fave, maybe you should educate yourself and learn a little bit about, like, music history or whatnot, and learn about the people who influenced your favorite artist before you start like trying to be smart on the internet. So yeah, yeah, stan culture is just Stefan, I booked a direct flight and I'm flying first class. Oh, all right, Stefan, leading the high life. I love it. Nikita Ray, won't be home until tonight, but just out here saying hey while I'm walking. Oh, nice. Well, thank you for stopping by, Nikita. Stephen Panama, I don't read books. Yeah, I'm really not much of a reader myself, to be honest, but you know, I definitely want to change that though. And I feel like we should all try and change that. Leron Underwood, the part when it revealed that his favorite aunt was actually sexually abusing him was so sad. Yeah, that was definitely really, really sad. Nikita Ray, walking by the CN Tower, should I jump off? I want to be like Drake. I mean, I guess if you want to live that Drake life. I heard that you guys in Toronto qualified, got into the playoffs. So, congrats. I don't know if you're like in that area, but like congrats to Canada. Um Icaro Board. Hello from Brazil. Hello, Icaro from Brazil. Oh, you know what? I need to share this link in the community tab on my page. Okay, I'll be right back. Um, do 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 do. Wait. Community. Okay. um, do. Okay. Oh wait. Let me just. There we go. Select. We're live. Join us. Join us here. Hurry. 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 Okay. There we go. Okay. Devin Munn, I can relate to having a lot of shows planned to watch in the next couple of months. I have like 7 more shows planned as well as finishing / catching up on shows I'm currently watching. Oh, I know. I feel like there's just like so much content coming out right now. You know what I was thinking too? Hot take. I feel like there's too much content on Netflix to the point where they're like not even advertising everything that they have. Stefan, if you want to watch a totally messed up movie on Netflix, I highly recommend The Perfection. It ends totally different from what you expect. Ooh, interesting. Those kinds of movies are always fun. Gemini, Queen. Hey, Gemini. Lungazula, do you watch the James Carpool karaoke's on YouTube? For the most part, I do. I just watched. If you're asking if you're gonna ask if I watched the Celine Dion one, yes, I did. Celine Dion is like low key crazy, but I love her. I always like make fun of the Celine Dion rant she went on about when she called in to Larry King during Hurricane Katrina, and like she is just like so emotional, and then at one point she like tells Larry King like just take a kayak. Like I think that, like you need to find it. Just YouTube Celine Dion take a kayak, and it is like I don't even know how to describe it. It is so weird and bizarre, but like really really funny. So yeah. But on Carpool Karaoke, yes, I do watch those. Not every single one, but I've watched most of them, and they're really really funny. I mean, I love the Celine one is like hilarious. I mean, Mariah's is great. That was the first one. I also really love the Stevie Wonder one. I mean, I just think it's so awesome that Stevie Wonder did that, and I'm like so jealous of James for being able to jam with Stevie in a car like that. And then like obviously the Adele one is so good. I'm trying to think of other ones that I watched. The Lady Gaga one is fun. Elton John was fun. Madonna was fun. I don't really watch like the younger ones. I know he Yeah. I know he did one with Bruno Mars. That was good. Yeah, unless like I'm interested in the artist, that's when I'll watch. But if I like, I don't really care about the artist, I won't watch it. Um, Lyra Underwood, I had a dream that Whitney hologram tour had glitched and it was creepy. Well, I mean, if you guys have not watched my video on the Whitney Houston hologram thing that's happening, um, you pretty much get all my thoughts there. But yeah, that Whitney hologram is, I don't know, it's kind of creepy. It's kind of creepy. I was actually having a Twitter conversation with someone um who is also a really, really big Whitney Houston stan. And we were talking about Glennis Grace. And I'm sure, I don't know if you guys know who Glennis Grace is, but she's like another one of those artists. Well, I don't even know how to describe Glennis Grace. She's like practically a Whitney Houston tribute performer, but like to the point where it's like she doesn't just sing Whitney Houston songs. She will literally dress up as Whitney Houston, style her hair exactly the same as Whitney Houston, and then sing the like she will sing, like, for example, I Want to Dance with Somebody, but she will specifically copy a live rendition of Whitney Houston from a very specific performance, and she will do the exact same runs, the exact same vocal inflections, the exact same like mannerisms. Like if Whitney like was doing like this in the video with her fingers, or like, if Whitney was like bobbing her head, you watch Glennis Grace and she does it the exact same way. And like there was a time when I was like, for a minute there I was like, oh, okay, but like she's been doing this for like, this is pretty much what she does her entire career, and she doesn't even like quote herself as I'm a Whitney Houston tribute act. Like she just like puts herself out there as like, I'm Glennis Grace, but there's nothing really like original about her. She just copies Whitney Houston exactly to a T. And it's like, I know that Whitney, for a majority, like a good chunk of her discography is cover songs, but at least with Whitney Houston, she made those songs her own. But Glennis, she just copies her, and it's so weird. And I just, like, between like Glennis Grace and this like goddamn hologram, I'm just like, Lord, just like, if we wanna pay tribute to Whitney, why don't we just like watch old Whitney Houston stuff? That's what I'm saying. Okay, so let's see. Nikita Ray, at where I was going, so I'll see y'all later. Oh, okay, Nikita probably like left already, but have fun. Gemini, I just listened to It's Over from Cheetah Girls 2, and woo, Whitney did that. I know, right? Whitney did a lot of things. Lungazula, after watching the Celine Dion episode, didn't it make you feel sad at the end that we won't be able to see Whitney or Michael doing those types of things? Yes. Yes, it did. Every time I see, like, any of their peers doing things, I'm just like, we'll never get this. Like, it's so sad. Yeah, the Carpool Karaoke thing, whenever I watch like those artists that were around during their time, I definitely like, it makes me sad. And I get sad like thinking about like trying to imagine like what would a Michael Jackson Carpool Karaoke like video entail. Like I'm sure Michael would be so freaking nice to James. Like, even if James did not sound great, Michael would just be like, oh, that's so good. And then, like, they'd probably, I don't know, they'd probably, like, shut down Disneyland or something, or they'll, like, do something crazy. Like, I don't even know, but it'd just be, like, really, really fun. And then I'd imagine, like, if Whitney were to do it, oh, she'd be so funny. Like, her and Prince, actually, because I think Carpool Karaoke with Prince would have been really, really funny, too. Her and Prince would be like low-key shady, but it'd be really, really funny at the same time. Those are the moments that I'm kind of like, I wish they were still here. Also, like, when Mariah got the Icon Award at the Billboard Awards, I was just like, oh, I wish, like, I mean, I don't know if Michael ever got that, but I wish, like, Whitney would have been able to like get that award, or Michael and Whitney and Prince would have been able to like get those kinds of things while they were still alive, so we could get those wonderful moments. But Yeah, it's just it's so sad. It's so sad. Lungazula, the Adele one was also funny. Yeah, that one is that the Adele one I think might be my favorite because it's just so good. And when she does All I Ask. Stephen Panama, have you watched Paradise PD on Netflix? No, I have not. Gemini, imagine if Beyonce actually left her home and started doing promotional shit like interviews and Carpool Karaoke. I know James really wants Beyonce to do Carpool Karaoke. That's like the one star. Like I think he was asked like if there was one celebrity you could get to do Carpool Karaoke, who would it be? And he was like Beyonce. I feel like as of like I think Beyonce is starting to come a little bit around. Like I mean Beyonce is starting to like use Instagram a little bit more in a way that she wasn't before. Like I mean still to this day she is posting Instagram stories. They're not of her, they're of other people, but I mean like hey, baby steps. But I wouldn't be surprised if eventually she does her own Carpool Karaoke. Yeah, it'd be really, really fun to see her in like that setting, just like singing those songs. The only thing about like Beyonce that I will say though is like she's not like the funniest person. She's like unintentionally funny. So yeah. But I mean like hey, it'd be just great to see her in general in that setting. Leron Underwood, have you watched Palo Alto? No, I have not. Lunga Zula, Prince was really shady. Yeah, Prince was definitely really, really shady. I watched those compilation videos before on YouTube of like Prince's shadiest moments, and he has like the kind of shade that like you will like after he says it like you have to be like whoa wait what did you just say like it'll like sometimes it'll like fly over your head or like it'll burn you in such a way where you're like oh so yeah he's really really funny, definitely someone I would not want to get on his bad side. So Lunga Zulu, I think she will start doing interviews once she slows down. Yeah, I would imagine there will come a time when Beyonce will start to do interviews again, but probably when she is like not in the midst of her like creative zenith. So yeah. Stefan, Billy Lord has been confirmed to return for American Horror Story. Nice. I actually just watched a movie that Billy Lord was in 2 days ago. It's called Booksmart. She was in that, so if you guys haven't seen it yet, I highly recommend you do because it's actually a really, really funny movie. But Billy Lord is in it, and she's like really, really funny. So yeah, Billy Lord, she's great. I feel like she definitely should be getting more work because she's like, you know, one of those people who I think sometimes the fact that she is like the daughter of Carrie Fisher and the granddaughter of Debbie Reynolds, it like might put people off a bit because they don't want to give her the job just because she is related to those people and like nepotism and all of that stuff. But like Billy Lord is actually really like funny. Like I'm not quite sure in terms of like dramatic roles. I don't know if like I haven't seen her in any of those kinds of roles before, but when it comes to comedy, like she's really really funny. So yeah, hopefully we get to see more of her in general. Gemini, has Beyonce ever actually tweeted? I think she has like 3 or 4 tweets. But no, as of late she has not. Sido Loco 023. Hola. Hola. Lunga Zulu. Beyonce doesn't like being caught off guard. That's why she doesn't do interviews. She likes being in control, not in a bad way. Yeah, that's very true. Very, very true. I definitely agree with that. Stephen Panama, gotta go. See you next Sunday. I love you. Bye. Okay, well, bye, Stephen. Lunga Zulu, do you think Beyonce also changes her iPhones when new models are introduced? Oh yeah. Like I remember when she did her interview with Oprah. Oprah asked her how many phones do you have, and she has like 2 phones simultaneously. So like not only does she probably get the new version every single like I would not be surprised if like Beyonce and Jay-Z get the phones like before the general public. Like, I would not be surprised of that. And I would not be surprised if she has like multiples of those phones. So yeah. Gemini, Beyonce probably has the iPhone 15. Yeah, she probably does. Probably has the iPhone 100. Devin Munn, have you heard about the Netflix shows called Chambers and the Society? I have not heard about the Chambers, but I have heard about the Society. I heard that the Society was really, really good. I haven't gotten around to watching it because, again, there's just so much content in general to be watched. But yeah, I have not watched that yet. Stefan, a friend of mine has two phones. It's so annoying when they go off at the same time. Oh wow, so like the phone, even though he has two phones, he has the same number for both of those phones. That must be very confusing. Leron Underwood, Steffi, do you know that Tati actually getting dragged by everyone since James Charles' video about his side of the story and gained back subscribers? So weird how people are quick to turn on people. I heard about that. I personally have not watched those videos because I'm like over it. I'm just like, girl, we're going back and forth. I'm not about to watch another like hour video of you ranting about someone when this technically should have really just been between the two of you, and y'all could have just gone at it through like a group message, or better yet, you should have just met in person to hash out your feelings. So no, I have not watched the James Charles follow-up video, but yeah, that is definitely a very, very great observation you make, Leron, about how people are very quick to turn on people. I think the same could be said for anybody in general. People are fickle. People are fickle, and if you tell them the right narrative and if you play into their emotions, they will turn on you. So yeah. Lunga Zulu, she seemed like a conservative person. She probably has her 8 plus that she uses and the new models just because. Yeah, I would not be surprised if that's how Beyonce operates. Gemini, I just watched Chambers and woo, it is this Chambers before. Let me do a really quick Google and see what pops up. I'm not gonna watch it obviously right now, but you know, I have not heard about Chambers. After having a heart attack, a teenager gets a heart transplant to survive. Okay. Genres: occult fiction, horror fiction. Oh, wait. Is this a movie or a show? Oh, it's a show. Wait. I think, oh, wait, no. I was thinking of a different. I thought this was, the one with Tony Goldwyn. It is not. Okay. I think I might have seen a trailer for this, but it's been a while. Yeah, interesting. It looks scary. Devin Munn, yeah, plus it has a Native American main character and actress, so woohoo. Wow, okay. How many episodes is it? Chamber Netflix episodes. 10 episodes, okay. Oh wait, this is the one with Tony Goldwyn. Right? Oh yeah, okay, this is the one with Tony Goldwyn. And doesn't the girl get his daughter's heart or something like that? That is really weird. I don't know if I don't even know if I want to watch that because, like, you know, for me, when I think of Tony Goldwyn, I think of like Fitzgerald Grant from Scandal, and I don't really want to like mess up my image of him by watching this like really scary thing because in the trailer for that, it looks really creepy. So, JJ, okay, I'm late, and I met you from your Pose videos, but I love you. Shouts from New Orleans. Well, thanks for watching, JJ. I'm glad you enjoyed the Pose videos. And hey, Stefan, look at that! You are on your way to New Orleans, and maybe you can run into JJ while you're there. Gemini, it's 10 episodes, but it's one of those cliffhanger shows where you have to watch it back to back. Uma Thurman is in it too. Oh, okay. I think Uma Thurman plays Tony Goldwyn's wife, correct? I believe. Wow. Yeah, I think I have to be in the right state of mind to watch that because, again, that looks like really, really scary. But, Interesting. Interesting. Wow. Hmm. Interesting. Okay. Is it possible for it to come back for season 2, or is it one of those like limited series? This is only a season, and then we're done. Um, when he Huang, you should watch Victoria. Hi, Victoria. Is that one of those like period pieces about like the royals, like Queen Victoria? Um, Movie Steph and Justin. Hey y'all, what are y'all talking about? We were just talking about Netflix shows that I have not seen yet. What else were we talking about? Oh, we were talking about Carpool Karaoke and how Beyonce doesn't do interviews, but will she do interviews? We were talking about Dionne Warwick and the comment she made about Beyonce. So, yeah. We are also talking a little bit about Whitney Houston hologram. Yeah. Gemini, yeah, she's his wife. It's kind of like a psychological thriller. Definitely season 2 potential. Okay, okay. Devin Munn, no, I heard it ends on a cliffhanger. I'm hoping it will get renewed. Ooh, okay, okay. I haven't seen anyone on Twitter really talking too much about it, so, okay. Lunga Zulu, why aren't there documentaries about Toni Braxton? I really want to get into her. I feel like I wouldn't call myself like a Toni Braxton expert by any means. However, like I have like towards the tail end of last year, I really really started to dig deep into Toni Braxton's discography. I still haven't listened to all the albums either. Well, technically, yeah, I haven't listened to Libra because that's not available to stream because the album that when she made that album, she was being managed by Aaliyah's uncle, and like all the work that Aaliyah's uncle, all the artists that Aaliyah's uncle was managing, like they basically like their stuff is not available to stream. So that's the only Toni album I haven't really listened to yet. But I feel like a good place to start Lunga Zulu when I was getting into Toni was there is a documentary. It's like one of those like behind the music documentaries on YouTube about Toni Braxton. I think that's like a pretty good place to start. You could watch Toni Braxton interviews. That could be good too. And then once you feel like you're starting to get a little bit more in the know with her, just start listening to the albums in chronological order would be great. If I could recommend a Toni Braxton album to listen to, I mean, the first one is so iconic, but you know what's like low-key underrated, I feel like, in her discography is The Heat. That's a really good album. Like it came out in 2000, and there's very much like a Spanish influence on that album. Like a lot of the songs are like have that Latin inspired sound. But it's like that sound mixed with like R&B and pop. So, well, actually, not so much more pop. Maybe just more so like R&B. But it's really, really good. So yeah, have fun, Lunga Zulu. It's always fun to get into an artist that you want to get into. So yeah. As far as let's see, favorite Toni Braxton deep cuts, I would say off of that first album, I don't necessarily know if this is like a deep cut, but like How Many Ways by Toni Braxton is so good. And also watch the video. Watch the video for How Many Ways. It is just like what I want my summer to be. Second album, let's see, second album, Toni Braxton. There's a song that I really, really love. Let It Flow is on that album. That's also from the Waiting to Exhale soundtrack. Highly recommend you listen to that. Why Should I Care? Why Should I Care from that second album is so good. It is so good. Also, The Heat. I mean, Speaking in Tongues, maybe, and You've Been Wrong. So good, so good. Um, I don't really listen to the More Than a Woman or Pulse albums because I just feel like the sound of that time doesn't really fit Toni Braxton's style, so I don't really listen to those two albums too much. I love Marriage and Divorce was the album that she made when, well, there was a time when Toni Braxton was like seriously considering like being done with music and leaving the music industry. And then Babyface was like, "Hey Tony, we should like make an album together to help you get back on your like, game." And then they made Love, Marriage and Divorce, and that album is really really good as well. I feel like not a lot of people like give it the attention it deserves, but like really good. Like just like listen to all of it. And then Sex and Cigarettes, that was okay. I wasn't really the biggest fan of that EP, but I mean, Long as I Live is on that, and that is a fucking jam. And I know Tony was nominated for three Grammys for that, for Sex and Cigarettes. She didn't win any, but I honestly feel like Tony should have at least won something for As Long as I Live. So, yeah. All right. Well, there ends my Tony Braxton rant. um, Let's see here. Charlie Gregory, what Democrat do you want to win the nomination next year? I don't really have a particular pick. There's so many Democrat nominees. I have to do a little bit more research on that. Pat David, have you seen the new movie Booksmart? I've been wanting to watch it, but I don't know if it will be good. Yes, I have, and I'm actually going to be doing a review of it later this week. So look out for it. But I would recommend watching it. I would recommend watching it. When He Huang, yes, it's really good. It's about Queen Victoria. Considering you enjoyed The Crown, I reckon you'd like it. Okay. Yeah, I think someone has recommended me that show before. I just never got around to watching it, but I will definitely put that on my list. Movies FN Justin gonna be watching Big Little Lies later today. Ooh, Justin, have fun. Have fun, because that show is a ride. Gemini, OMG, I've been wanting to ask you since your Downton Abbey reaction. Do you prefer Downton Abbey or the Crown? I want to get into a British drama. The Crown is more like Downton Abbey. There is like drama, but it's like petty drama. Like if anything, the reason why I love Downton Abbey is like because it's a very like relaxing show for me, even in moments of like stress during Downton Abbey. It's not like on the edge of your seat kind of stress. It's more of like, oh, this is so like luxurious. Like what a luxe life. And it's just like the score is very relaxing. Like you just see like a lot of green and lots of like the architecture is very beautiful. It's just a very like relaxing show for me to watch. That's why I really love Downton Abbey, and you get like emotionally attached to the characters. I mean, there are some like fairly dark moments, but it's not like too dark. The Crown, I feel like you would personally like more because it is like the tea that is served in The Crown. You're just like, oh my god, like it's just like, whoa. Lord, it starts off a bit slow. I'm not gonna lie, especially if you like know nothing about the royal family. And you're not really like too entrenched in like the royal family history and all of that, like you might be like a little lost, but like I would say honestly like stick with it. Like I think maybe like first two episodes might be like what the like I don't understand what's happening, but like once it like really starts to go, like it is so good. It's so good because you just learn about how like the implications that the family, Queen Elizabeth's family, like took on by like taking on like the duties of the crown. So I mean to help you dip your toes a little bit, so you're not like completely dark going into the show. So Queen Elizabeth's father was the king, but originally Queen Elizabeth's father was not actually meant to be like the king at all. He had an older brother. I forget what the older brother's name is, but he had an older brother, and the older brother was the king. But the older brother wanted to marry an American, and I believe she was like an actress or something. So the brother abdicated his throne to marry this American woman, and because he abdicated the throne, the next person in line in the family then took on the crown, and that person was Elizabeth's father. And that's how like Elizabeth's family specifically, like that line of the family became like the people who would like take on the crown. So it wasn't even supposed to be her line. It was actually her uncle's line. And because of, you know, the stress of like, you know, being king and all of that, the father and the family, like they kind of like felt like they felt the stress of that because it really technically wasn't supposed to be them at all. And when the father took on the duties of the crown, it really, you know, it affected his health. And he died fairly young. And that's kind of like where the first episode begins. Like, you see Queen Elizabeth's father, like, becoming ill. And then, like, you know, spoiler alert, he dies. And that's, and because he dies so young and kind of like, he doesn't like have an accident or anything. It's like health reasons. But I don't think they were expecting him to die because he was like relatively young. Queen Elizabeth, who was the eldest of his children, I think, yeah, there's only two kids. It's Queen Elizabeth and then her sister Margaret. She then has to take on the duty of the crown, and she's like, I think like newly married. She's like in her early like 20s. I think she might, I don't exactly know how old she is, but she's like young, and she has to suddenly become queen because her father has died. So it's like that, like that's really where the story starts. And it's so good. It's so good because like you just like that in and of itself like affects like the duties and responsibility of becoming the queen at such a young age. Like it kind of shakes up, it shakes up Buckingham Palace, which is like where they live. It shakes up, it kind of like causes a little like tension in her marriage with her and oh my god, it's been a while since I've seen this show, but with like her and her husband, who's played by Matt Smith. He's really good. Claire Foy and Matt Smith are so good in that show. Yeah, they're really good in that show. I'm gonna miss them, but it causes tension there. It causes like tension between her and her younger sister Margaret. And Margaret is kind of like, Margaret is so much fun. Vanessa Kirby plays Margaret, and she like, Margaret and Queen Elizabeth are so different. Like Margaret, like if I could compare Elizabeth and Margaret, Elizabeth is like Prince Prince William, in that like she's the eldest, and she like, you know, will very much like just like follow the ways of the crown, like do the responsibilities and duties of the crown. Whereas like Margaret is sort of similar to Harry. She likes breaking the rules, breaking protocol, and all of that stuff. So yeah, it's so good. It's so good. Like, I mean, the story alone is very fascinating. The acting is amazing. I'm not quite sure if it's still Netflix's like most expensive show, but I remember at the time when it first came out, it was Netflix's most expensive show, and it like really like you can see it because like the sets are amazing, the costumes are amazing. It's just so good. It's so good. I highly recommend. I think you're gonna really enjoy it. And yeah, it's one of my favorite shows. It's one of my favorites. Um, Leron Underwood. The perfection is so disturbing. OMG. Lungazula will definitely be doing that. I just know her hit songs, but we'll get into her discography. They say she doesn't have a bad album, or maybe like one. Yeah, I don't like think she necessarily, I mean, like for me, I would say of what I've listened to, I'm not the biggest fan of The Pulse. Because again, like that the Pulse came out like in like 2009, 2010, I believe. And like that album very much fits the sound of that time. And I just feel like that sound doesn't really fit with like Tony Braxton's sound. So yeah, that's probably like I would say the weakest for me in terms of like Tony's discography. But she's so good. And like you know, the other day I was listening to the Secrets album, which is the second album, came out in 1995, and it just like I love the sound of R&B from the 1990s, but especially from the year 1995, like Hello, Waiting to Exhale soundtrack. But she's someone who like I genuinely enjoy her voice. Like I love listening to Tony Braxton's voice. I think she is so I don't know if necessarily say like underrated, but like just she's so expressive in her voice and like the way she like interprets her lyrics and like does her little vocal inflections. It's just like, oh my gosh, you're so she's just so good at what she does. So I love it. Um CS, why didn't you react to the Handmaid's Tale trailer this time? Love you. I don't think I ever reacted to the Handmaid's Tale trailer. I might have done it for season one, I believe. I'm not quite sure, but I don't think I did season two. The reason why I don't, in general, really like reacting to trailers, like the only show I really do that for is American Horror Story and Black Mirror. But I don't like doing that for other shows because I just like going in blind for the most part. And especially with Handmaid's Tale, I like to go in blind. I don't want to know I don't even want to really see a snippet of what's going to happen. So, yeah, that's why. When He Huang, do you watch Game of Thrones? No, I do not. Um, Gemini. Oh, so The Crown is all about Elizabeth. I always thought it was about the entire like royal lineage. LMAO. I might watch it then. Don't they like time skip too? I'm assuming we'll get Diana eventually. Yes. So, I mean, it is. It's not like about her entire lineage, but you do like learn about like it's not like there's an episode specifically dedicated to Margaret, and then well, actually there is like an episode dedicated to Margaret, but it's not like God, how can I describe it? It's not like very much like it's not like you know how like in 13 Reasons Why like each character got their own episode? It's not like that. Like it's very much like an ensemble, but the lead still is like Elizabeth, um Queen Elizabeth, but you learn about different people in the family, but it's still very much like centered on Queen Elizabeth. Um but the thing with The Crown is that each season more or less like focuses on like a particular like decade or era. So, gosh, I forget like what year the first, like what particular time frame was the first season, but second season I believe is like the 1950s, I believe. And then so you still have the same actors, but third season is because they're like, Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip. Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip, they're getting older, and because like, the times are changing, um they switch out the actors. So Claire Foy and Matt Smith, who played Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip, they're not going to be Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip in the third season. Actually, the lady who's going to be Queen Elizabeth is Olivia Colman, who just won the Oscar for The Favorite. So she's going to be playing Queen Elizabeth. And then Prince Philip is going to be played by, gosh, I'm forgetting this actor's name, but if you guys watch Outlander, he was the guy who played Frank. He's going to be Prince Philip. And I think in the third season, they're going to start, like, I know Prince Charles is, like, by now should be a teenager at least. And I don't know if we're going to get Princess Diana in the third season, but definitely by fourth season, she should, like, be in the picture. So, yeah, it's like, you see, like, third season is really going to be, like, newfound territory for the show because you don't have the same group of actors, but you see the family evolve through time. So that's, like, it's really, really good. Again, like be patient, especially on yourself for not really knowing what's going on the first like episode or so, because it's so worth it to stick with it because it's so good. Like you wonder why this show gets a lot of like nominations and whatnot. It's you'll see why once you actually watch it. When He Huang, if so, what do you think about the ending? Oh, for Game of Thrones? Well, what do I think of her? I don't think of her. I don't watch Game of Thrones, so I have no opinions on that. CS, LOL, I just searched and it's true. I don't know why I thought you made trailer reactions. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. A lot of people like will ask me, but I for the most part like going in blind. Lungazula, LOL, I usually don't listen to people who don't pronounce words properly when singing, but Tony is an exception. I know, same, right? I mean, like, Tony, like, I still, like, there's certain songs that I swear to God, I've, like, listened to millions of times, and I'm like, nope, not a word, but you know what? That girl is expressive, and I will stick with it because I love Tony Braxton. Stefan, I don't remember you doing a reaction video to the HS trailer for this upcoming season. I do, for HS, I do, like, a trailer reaction for the official trailer, like, that comes out. What I usually do is, like, I wait pretty much until, like, it gets close to the season premiering, and then, like, I'll watch all of the little, like, teasers that they do in, like, one go. But it's, like, usually closer to when it's coming out. Lunga Zulu, also, how's the planning for the podcast going? It's going really good. It's going really good. I met with, oh yeah, I think I may have mentioned this last week. Me and my friend, her name is Lisa, by the way. We met at her place, and we literally, like, were planning, like, we met at 11, and our, like, meeting ended at, like, 4 o'clock. Not to say, like, we just, like, worked the entire time, like, we maybe, like, for an hour or so we're talking about other things, but yeah, we pretty much spent a good chunk of that planning. We have an idea of what we want our thumbnail or, like, our icon image to be. I'm not gonna say what it is, but we have an idea of what we want it to be. We just need to find someone to design it, because I'm not the best, like, drawer or, like, graphic design artist, but she has a friend that she thinks she can do it for us. We have a couple of titles in the mix. We have like a list of movies that we want to cover, or that, like, we're planning on covering eventually, and, like, the list we were able to comprise pretty much sets us for, like, a solid, like, I think we were able to get, actually, I can look right now at we have a Google Drive. Let's see here. Movies list. I'm looking at my list right now. View. How many movies did we get? We have, like about 130 different movies that we already have listed here to cover, and that's not even everything. Like, we were just, going off the cuff, seeing, like, maybe we could do that. So yeah, if you guys have any suggestions as to what diva-centric movies you want us to cover, definitely let me know, like, right now, so I could add it to the list. Yeah, it's going good. It's going good. My friend wants to do, like, a practice episode of 2 different practice episodes. So, like, a practice episode of us covering a movie that we really both really want to do, and just seeing how long that episode would last, like, how long can we go talking about the movie. And then we want to do another practice episode of a different movie that my friend and I more or less weren't really that interested in, just to see and compare. But we also were planning on the different segments we want to do, and the names of those segments, and different like sound bites and whatnot. We still have to plan out, like, logistics in terms of, like, getting a mic, like, how much is that going to cost. We have an idea of, like, what platform we want to stream through, in terms of, like, if you guys are familiar with, like, making podcasts, you have to have an RSS feed, and to do that you have to, like, submit your audio to, like, a website that can host your podcast. So yeah, we're still figuring a lot of things out, but it's going. PV3. Tobias Menzies is the new Prince Philip. He's a really good actor. Yes, Tobias Menzies. He's really good. Very, very good. Gemini, I'm not against skipping episodes if it's being so. If I'm really bored, I'll just jump ahead to be real. LOL. That's fair. But I wouldn't recommend skipping, but it's still, like, really good. Really good. It's a really good show. Well acted. Stefan, also Billy Eichner will not return for HS this season, which makes me happy. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that makes me happy too. Bitter Sick Simden, Billy is terrible. I hate his acting. Yeah, Billy, I was gonna say Billie Eilish. Billy Eichner pretty much plays like himself. Gemini, Whispers, obviously it's your choice. Please do a Cheetah Girls episode. Whispers. Ooh, did we put Cheetah Girls here? Let me see.
Doesn't like Cheetah.
Cheetah Girls, Cheetah Girls. You know what? I'm gonna add that right now. I think I remember us talking about it in like a previous episode, but yeah, okay, I'll do that right now so I don't forget. Insert one row below. Cheetah Girls. Okay. Yeah, that's a good one. Thank you. Thank you for that. Wen He Huang, you should react to the trailer of the movie The Farewell. It looks sad but so good. Keen Logfeld, hey Steffi, I'm late, but did you see the post teasers or confirms? It confirms it's New York City in 1990. I saw the posters. I knew we were gonna be in the 90s. I wasn't quite sure what year in the 90s, but 1990. Okay, okay. You know what? Honestly, I'm just like really interested, like aside from like, you know, seeing the characters again and like the story where it goes. I'm so excited for the music. Like that's like the thing about these like period pieces that take place in like the 80s and the 90s. I'm like always just like, what music are we gonna get? So I mean, I would imagine that we're gonna get a Vogue moment with Madonna. I mean, what year did Vogue come out? Vogue Madonna come out. 1990. Okay, yeah. So yeah, we're gonna get a Madonna Vogue moment for sure. Let's see here. Gemini, those post trailers sent me. The stuff they're teasing with Angel and Poppy is sending me. I don't think I've seen that yet. The trailer has them talking about Vogue, so yeah, that's going to be in there. Oh, okay. I don't think I've seen it. I've only really seen the poster. I haven't seen like actual like footage. Like, and I've also seen like those teasers when it's like white and they're kind of like just like dancing around. I've seen that, but I haven't seen like official trailer. But that's sounds good. I wonder how who did Damon wait, who God, what is his name? The love interest of Damon. I forget what his name is. It's been a while, but he was like going on tour with someone. I wonder how that tour went. Maybe he's like a big time backup dancer now. I don't know. Gosh, 87. Okay, so that means that's a fairly big time jump because now 89, 90. I wonder if Damon has graduated school. Is he still in that dance school? I don't know. Gemini, there's a new Electric teaser that I won't spoil, but woo, she's iconic as hell. Lunga Zulu, random. Have you ever Googled what song was number one in the US when you were born? I was born in August 1st, 1995, and the number one song was TLC Waterfalls, and I happen to love this song. Yes, I have. Actually, I saw that there was someone who I watch his videos like occasionally. His name is on YouTube is like Beyond ARTV. He does like a lot of music reviews, primarily for like rock bands, which I really like. I don't listen really so much to like rock and indie bands, but he does like these one-off videos where he'll like talk about particular topic in the music industry or whatnot. So those are really interesting. And he did a video where he was like reacting to every song that, or not necessarily like reacting, but like finding out every song that was number one on his birthday. And I've been wanting to do that kind of video for the longest time, but I did see what song was number one the day I was born. So I was born August 11th in 1993, and I'm so mad because like the songs that were number one in the year of 1993 are like pretty much the divas. That's why I always say like I was born the year of the diva, because there were so many diva-centric things happening during the year of 1993. Like, let me see. Was number one in, I'm just gonna, there's like, I know there's like a list on like Wikipedia that like lists them all. Okay, so like the year of 1993, for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The first 9 weeks of 1993, the number one song was Whitney Houston's I Will Always Love You. And then on March 6th, the number one song was A Whole New World, the Peebo Bryson and Regina Belle version, because Aladdin had just come out in 1992. And then the next couple weeks, I don't know who that person is, but then in like for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, for like 8 weeks from like late spring to early summer, it was Janet Jackson's That's the Way Love Goes. And then in July, for 2 weeks, you have SWV's Week. And then for the period of time when I was born, which was August 11th, so for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks, it was this song called Can't Help Falling in Love by UB40. So that was the song that was #1. And then, of course, after that, at #1 for 8 weeks was Mariah Carey's Dream Lover. And then for 5 weeks at #1 was Meatloaf's I'd Do Anything for Love, but I won't do that. Then the next 2 weeks was Janet Jackson's again. And then in 1993, the last song to go #1 was Hero, Mariah Carey. So it was pretty much like Janet, Mariah, Whitney for like a large chunk of it. And then, I mean, there's an SWV moment there. But of course, when I was born, I don't fall exactly on the day of a diva. I fall on a UB40 song. Okay. But that's so cool that you had TLC Waterfalls as your #1 song when you were born. Like that, I'm like jealous. Gemini, have you seen Aladdin? Yes, I have. And that review should be coming out tomorrow. I'm actually going to film like a chunk of review videos like once this live stream is over. So I can get all of those videos out to you guys this upcoming week. I'm planning on doing a review for Booksmart. I'm doing a review for Aladdin that came out this year. I'm doing a review on Aladdin that came out in 1992. I'm doing a review on Carly Jepsen's new album because I want to listen to that. And then I also am going to be doing a review on not Booksmart, Wine Country, which is that Netflix movie with like all those comedic women. So yeah, those are the videos that are going to be coming out this week. And then of course my reaction and review to the last episode of Fosse Verdon. So yeah, that's what's planned for this week. But you're pretty much gonna get my thoughts on Aladdin in that video. Stefan, I just checked, and mine was "You Keep Me Hanging On." Oh, nice. That's a good one. That's a good song. Yeah, but I want to do a video where I like find out all the different songs that went to #1 on my birthday. Gemini, the #1 song on my birthday was Maria Maria. I'm happy with that. LOL. Yeah, it's interesting to see what songs were #1 on your birthday because then it's like a time capsule, you know. But yeah. Okay, well, let's see here. We've been doing this for about an hour now, so I don't know. I guess I'll end it here. Yeah, I hope you guys. Yeah, I'll just end it here. Because I really do want to like do the reviews right now. But I hope you guys have a great Memorial Day weekend because it's a long weekend. So I hope you guys have like plans or whatever. I don't really have any plans. I think we're gonna do some barbecuing here, eat some good food. But I hope you guys have plans for your Memorial Day weekend. Maybe go out, see a movie. I don't know. And yeah, definitely look out for my movie reviews coming out this week, all the future videos coming out this week. And if you haven't already, definitely let me know your thoughts on the video I did for the Whitney Houston hologram, because that's kind of like my first real video essay that I've done. And if you haven't watched it yet, I'd appreciate some feedback because not only do I think it's an interesting topic, but I've never made a video like that. So if you guys have any sort of feedback for me, that would be helpful so I can get better at doing video essays because I definitely want to do more of those down the line. But yeah, I hope you guys have a great week. I will see you in all the upcoming future videos. And on Sunday for the live stream, which should be at